So, looking at a spreadsheet, and we're using Google Drive spreadsheets in this example, spreadsheets can be very powerful for organizing and managing data. But another tool that spreadsheets bring to the table is the ability to visually display data, because it's one thing to just look at the numbers, to look at the data. It's another thing to see it as a visual, as a chart or graph. So how do you do that? I'm glad you asked. It all begins by selecting what you would like to include in your chart. So I'm going to select everything but row 8 that includes my total. You'll see why in a moment. So I've got that selected with a click and drag. It's highlighted in blue. And up on the top menu bar, there is a button that looks like a tiny column chart. We click it, and the chart editor comes up. It gives us a preview of a suggested chart. Very useful. There are other options to pursue that are recommended in the lower left. And if none of these make you happy, hey, go up to charts and you can start choosing from the wide variety of charts that are available. Some making more or less sense than others, like the map. Would not really work with our food costs right now. Let's go with a column chart. And what I've done is I've set this up so it is displaying not only the cost of the food, but the average rating of each item: pizza, juice, ice cream, apple, across the x-axis, across the bottom. And we can insert this chart, drop it in, and we've got our basic chart ready to go. But there's more, my friends, so much more. Let's say you'd like to take this chart and put it on its own sheet. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's go down to Move to Own Sheet. We'll click on the drop-down menu in the upper right, go to Move to Own Sheet. And now it's on its own separate tab. How do you get back to your data? No problem. Look down in the lower left. You'll see there's a tab called Chart 1, back to Sheet 1, back to Chart 1. No problem. Easy to reach, easy to work with. Let's make some changes up here. So I'm going to double click on chart title and change this to food cost and customer rating, just so we know what our chart is displaying. And we'll press enter and drop that in there. And we can also further customize our chart by looking at the top menu bar and going to Advanced Edit. And Advanced Edit takes us back to the chart editor. Again, we could go back to the beginning, change a chart type, but we want to focus on customizing. We've already set our title. We can change font size and color there. We can move the legend. The legend is the item that indicates what cost and rating are by color. And so that can be moved to right, left, center, inside. And you can change the formatting on your legend as well. Background colors can change if you desire. Reset that back to white. And continuing to scroll down, we have options related to naming the axes. Well, this is fairly important because people need to know what exactly you were displaying on your graph. So changing that axis is important. And we can change horizontal. We can also change left vertical, cost in dollars, just to be clear. Modify adding grid lines, modify our scale. And so let's update. We've made some changes. So now we've indicated the y-axis, the vertical axis is cost in dollars so that people know what we have. Our food items are indicated there. So working with a chart can more clearly display the information. Let's go back to our data. We'll go back to sheet 1. A couple more things to share. Other charts that are effective. You'll notice before I did not highlight the total. So what I want to do now is show a pie chart. Instead of a column chart like we just did, I'm going to work with a pie chart that's going to show the cost distribution of our lunch. And since the pie chart shows the overall total, I don't need to select it. So I've selected the data that I'm interested in, go back to the Insert Chart button, and we're going to pick the pie chart. And let's go straight to Customize and give it a title. Food Cost Breakdown, so that people know what we have going as far as our chart. And let's make it 3D just because it's fun. And let's maximize it and make it really big. And then let's insert that chart. And you know me already, I'm a big fan of putting our chart on its own sheet. I think it's clearer that way. So we'll go to Move to Own Sheet. And now we have 3 pieces of information about lunch. We have the data, we have a cost breakdown, and we have a comparison of cost and customer rating. And that's the basics of creating a chart in Google Spreadsheet. It's very similar in Microsoft Excel. So the skills you pick up here will transfer well to Excel, but I enjoy Google Spreadsheet because, well, it's free and easy to reach. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. And thanks for watching.